While I know 5 games into the season is too early to make definitive statements, after watching the first 5 games for the Raptors and the first games for a couple of the squads around the league, there is no question in my mind that as long as Kawhi stays healthy, this Raptors team will win 60-plus games guaranteed and finally break out from being the baby dinosaurs. Now before we get started, definitely subscribe, like, and share this video. So without further ado, man, cue that intro. First thing you need is a lead player. So first and foremost, you have to have a top 5 player in the league, and that the Raptors have in Kawhi Leonard. Now the last time a team won a championship without one of those top 5 players was in 2004 when the Detroit Pistons shocked the world and beat Los Angeles Lakers, who had 2 of the top 5 players at the time. Now it was very difficult for the Raptors last year to push through Cleveland and in the previous years before that as well, because the team lacked a superstar who would be able to lead the team mentally towards being able to dethrone a previous champion like Cleveland. Toronto's best player last year was DeMar DeRozan, and in the playoffs he was so bad in Game 3 of the semis that Dwayne Casey had to sit him for the 4th quarter. The whole thing not only to spare DeMar of embarrassment, but to also in the hopes of the team playing better with their best player off the court. Now DeMar and Lowry, while they're a fun duo to watch and they're great buddies, they're great during the regular season, both were not mentally stable enough to lead a team to a championship. Not in terms of intelligence, this is not a matter of intelligence, but mentally stable enough or talented to lead the team to a championship. Let's just remember that Kyle Lowry before in a playoff game left his team to decompress because of the stress levels he was getting. To make this short, DeMar DeRozan, he was the team's best player, but he was also their glaring weakness at contending for a title. He was the perfect B-plus player who just didn't have the A-level talent or persona to lead the chips. Kawhi is that level of player. We saw what he did in 2016 where he led San Antonio to a 61-win season, being an MVP finalist and having Golden State on the ropes before going down, in the words of Skip Bayless, to Zaza for cheap shot. All right, now to all the DeMar DeRozan fans out there, this is no diss to him, but I'm sorry, you cannot have him be your lead player when he is saying things like, we're going to win now because the best player is gone from our conference, we can win now. That's not the mentality of a champion. That's not the mentality of wanting to be the best. You have to beat the best. Number 2, you mainly need chemistry. So you also need a coach that's going to have the ability to draw up plays on the spot. And while I believe that Dwayne Casey was a great coach, Nick Nurse has proven to be a very good offensive coach with his track record and his production this season so far. So while an extremely small sample size, the Raptors have gelled surprisingly well. While still being ranked 2nd in offensive rating, the Raptors improved tremendously in terms of spacing. The threat of Danny Green shooting it from 3 is far more scary than DeMar DeRozan, as well as Kawhi Leonard, and being able to knock it down from 3 at an efficient clip. The Raptors' offensive system, it's good, it's really good, but their defense has gone from very good to potentially elite. Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard, they come to the Toronto Raptors basically as lockdown. They bring excellent two-way play at their positions and can defend with anyone in the league. Kyle Lowry and the rest of the team have also rallied behind Kawhi. They're diving for loose balls, they're running a little harder, and the whole team, they've rallied behind him and they're smiling a lot more around Kawhi to make sure that he's comfortable in their organization and their system. As we saw in the Boston game, the Celtics, they have no answer for Kawhi. And that's the least of their worries in terms of the Celtics, because Boston, they might potentially have the worst chemistry issues to work through because they have so many players close in skill set and talent. It's going to be very hard and difficult to establish playing time, minutes, and roles. Toronto doesn't have that problem. Everybody knows what the pecking order is from top to bottom. They know that Kawhi is the man, the alpha, and they follow behind his lead, and they're going to dive for any loose ball. They're going to do anything that's necessary. They're never going to question game plans. The third and probably the most important reason that they're going to go to the finals this year is the pressure. Now, they say pressure, no pressure, no diamonds. Well, pressure also busts pipes. And despite what a lot of people may say, the Raptors and Kawhi, they're under a lot of pressure this year to get to the finals. The Raptors this summer, they pulled off a heist of a superstar because of a set of fatal errors on the part of San Antonio when dealing with Kawhi's injury situation. Toronto, they have the perfect player to pawn off to get Kawhi, and they picked up Kawhi for a 1 year in the hopes that he loves their fit, their situation, and culture. They're also able to steal Danny Green in that deal. And Masai Ujiri, general manager for Toronto, he knows that you have to have high risk in order to have the highest reward possible. So let's just go over what can really happen if the Raptors suffer a second round exit or a conference finals exit. Kawhi will most likely not want to re-sign for the Supermax. He'll probably go to LA, New York, or anywhere that has winning potential that can give him the money that he wants. This would leave the Raptors basically, a word out on the street. This would leave them with no pieces left to trade, and they would have to basically bomb the team for picks and go straight to rebuild mode. So on Kawhi's part, for his pressure, the media was digging into him last year really hard for not playing for Pop after being cleared medically. After seeing what happened to Isaiah Thomas's so-called Brinks truck, he probably decided to sit it out because many media members like Skip Bayless claim that he's only worried about money and doesn't want to win and play ball, and that's probably not the case. A lot of teams also wanted to see that he's still the same MVP level player from 2016-2017, and they want to see the production from him at the highest level. So Kawhi knows that this year, in order to get that check, he will have to be the king of the East in order to secure that bag. So there is pressure from all sides, and that's either going to make diamonds or it's going to bust pipes. So once again, thanks for watching this video on why I believe that the Raptors have too much pressure from above and below to perform anything less than at optimum levels. They were already a great regular season team, and their main weakness they just improved upon greatly by adding a top 5 player in the world to their squad. The Raptors will just have to basically remain healthy and stay strong as teams like Boston and Philly basically implode from chemistry issues. So thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts down below, and as always, don't be mad at me, be mad at yourself for being an underachiever. Let that outro music rock.